Action! Welcome everybody to Kurt's Kona Kitchen here. I've never done one of these before, so bear with me. And change the channel if you don't want to see it. This is going to be a recipe that my cousin Wanda, who came out to Kona and visited me a few weeks ago, wanted to have me share with her. And Wanda, since this is the age of high tech, we'll do this on the web and post it so I get 1 million hits, make $1 million on you know, how beautiful this presentation is going to be. Anyway, let's start with this Kurt's Kona Thai chicken. It's basically a garlic chicken with a peanut butter sauce, and the peanut butter sauce is what we're going to start with. It has quite a few ingredients in it, and I'll put a static image plus the list of ingredients, but I'll show you what they look like on my counter. And you can see we're going to have things that range from coconut milk to chicken bouillon, lime juice, fresh squeezed from a tree that somebody has near me, soy sauce, fish sauce. Now this one takes a little bit of understanding on how to use, but you'll find it's indispensable in making Oriental or Asian flavored dishes. Sriracha, chilies all ground up into paste. We know what that is. And the 2 stars, the ingredients are, of course, honey, peanut butter, and garlic, which I have chopped up. So what we will do is start with sauteing some garlic. Let me get this on the actual image we're going to be. Okay, hopefully that's not upside down and backwards, but if it is, stand on your head. The pan's hot, throw in some coconut oil, and this coconut oil is extra virgin, which means it's going to be solid at room temperatures, even though it's 83 degrees in here, because I live in the tropics. Let that get a little bit warm here. There's a shadow of my glass, I guess. Okay, we got that sucker starting to melt in the pan. Oh, it smells good already. And 4,000 more ingredients to come. Right, so a diced dollop garlic in there. I'm going to use some more of this garlic for the actual chicken when I stir fry it out in the wok, but right here we're just going to make this part of the peanut sauce portion. If you have these anywhere near, I highly recommend you use those in a chopped up form. If you don't like spiciness, then don't do it. I'm going to put a little bit in there, just a smidgen. There. Swap this around. Don't want the garlic to get too crispy. Alright, back a little bit hot there. I'm going to pull it off for a second while I get the next ingredient. Next ingredient. Extra crunchy Jif. God, I hope this thing is not upside down. Here, look. Alright, okay, extra crispy Jif. And I'm going to put a dollop of that in there. This spoon. Alright. The measurements you can fudge on, and I put amounts, but you can see that's probably good. Half cup, 3/4 of a cup maybe, of extra crunchy Jif. You can use your organic stuff, but I really like the consistencies of these hydrogenated peanut oils. So we got the peanut butter going down. Fresh honey here. It's open. This, of course, is just, you know, you can use the best honeys or the worst honeys. It's pretty much up to you. This is essential, everyday, generic honey, and you know, maybe what's that, about a half cup, maybe And we're going to tweak this at the end, because as you taste it, you're going to find out if it's too sweet or too whatever. And you just add ingredients until you think you have something that works for you. Alright, let's get the honey and the peanut butter all mixed up together in this sauteed pan of garlic coconut oil. We'll turn up the heat a little. Get it all nice and smooth. There's a lot more stuff to come. But the good thing about these ingredients are that they are very stable and can be pretty much kept for over a year. I mean, you know, you got sriracha, the fish sauce, the soy sauce, most of these ingredients are storable for a good 12 months, let's face that. That means that you can make peanut sauce anytime you want, as long as you have your pantry full of these, what is it, about a dozen ingredients, if I count everything. Limes, of course, and the garlic, not going to last. Alright, so now what we have is a peanut butter and honey, which probably would taste good on a sandwich just like this, but that's not what we're going to do with it. What we're going to do with it is kick it up a notch. So now the ingredients become such things as chicken bouillon. And chicken bouillon just basically will help thin this down a little bit because it's going to get thick. And this will add to some of the salty flavors and pair with the chicken that we're going to cook up quite nicely. Now, as I look at this, we're on the right track. Some spiciness. This is sriracha. Sriracha can be applied liberally or not, depending on your aversion. This is not that hot. This stuff is just basically chili paste with garlic and some other ingredients. Soy sauce. It was probably a tablespoonful. Alright, it's all good. Now you see that it's starting to do that little thing where the sugars start to want to turn this into peanut brittle. That's a good time, as this thing gets down to more of a thicker medium, to add some lime juice. I've already squeezed 2 limes, but I'm only going to use like 1 here. And so put that in. That'll thin it out a bit. You know, my grandfather loved to eat, and if he was here, you know, I believe you know what he'd say.
Man, I never had such good food in my life.
What? What?
Man, I never had such good food in my life.
Oh, Harley, jeez. Well, it's so good to hear from you, Grandpa. I don't know if you'd actually like this dish, but if you did, it would go good with jam and jellies and whatever else you always ate stuff with jam and jellies. So peanut butter and honey, right up your alley. So what I'm going to do now is, now this is kind of like candifying. I call it, it's a technical term. I'm going to put some coconut milk in there. This is coconut milk, not coconut cream. That'll get too thick. So this is going to kind of dilute it down. I'll put half the can in for now. Half the can. And it will lighten up this color to more of a tan. Alright. So, the secret to this whole thing is based on this stuff called fish sauce, or as the locals call it, fish sauce. And it's fermented anchovies. And if you actually just taste or smell it, there's no way in hell you'd ever put this on your food. But trust me, if you just put a dollop in there, I'm going to take this spoon here and kind of give you an idea of what I'm going to put in. If that's a tablespoon, That's a tablespoon. And because I'm a more adventuresome, I'm going to put 2 in. It's at this point where your relatives and family will go, hey, what's dying in the kitchen? It goes away quickly, guaranteed. It goes away really quickly because the association with the rest of the ingredients. But it is a very pungent ingredient, so use it sparingly. And it's also salty, so it'll kick up the salt edge on your food. The lime juice is a counteractive in agent, just like you put fish with lemon juice together, when you're doing fish and chips or whatever. Lime juice actually is a good thing to help combat the extremely pungent edge, but you're still going to get that umami edge on your tongue. As any novice cook will know, there's like 5 tastes. There's sweet, sour, salt, bitter, and umami. And that is the flavor that I'm adding with the fish sauce. Sweet, sour, salt, bitter, umami. That's what you're trying to balance out here. And you can see that I pretty much just add whatever I think until I get to a point where I'm going to start tasting it. I'm going to taste this with the back of my finger, which is completely COVID-free. Okay. Oh! Burned the shit out of it. Anyway. That's on the sweet side, which is good. But if you want to calm it down and put it more to a savory side, the savory side would be adding such things as a little more soy sauce. And believe it or not, maybe just a little more peanut butter. Because I definitely do have this in a nice sweet form. But I want to make sure I balance it to where I think I like. This is where you really just mess with it. And you mess with this all day. You tell everybody that dinner's not going to be done until you finish sampling out the entire pan. Anyway, if I could just give you smell-o-vision here, this smells pretty wonderful. Alright. I think next, I'm looking at this going, it's a little thick. That's what I put a little more coconut milk in to try to thin it down, because when this cools down it will actually solidify even more. So the coconut milk, which is liquid at room temperature, will help make this thing a lot more creamy and manageable. Okay, so let me turn the heat down on this, and I want to hear from Grandpa.
Man, I never had such good food in my life. Man, I never had such good food in my life.
He's a good man. He knows what's good. Let this simmer out. And is this live or is this Memorex? Well, let's figure it out. It's Faded Love. It's live. Or it's alive. I did that for Grandpa. I know he would love Bob Wills' Faded Love more than any other thing except for some Christian music like Lord Lift Me Up on Higher Ground. So this is getting it's kind of thick. So I'm going to continue adding the coconut milk to bring it down to a texture that I like, which is smooth and creamy. And the coconut milk doesn't add too much extra sugars and salts or anything to it. It just actually kind of helps tone it down for texture wise. And because I'm a little bit of a, what do you call, renegade, there's just no way I'm going to get by without adding just a little more fish sauce to this. That was just another tablespoonful. But you're certainly welcome to add as few, less, or little. In fact, you could avoid using it, but you're not going to get this Thai flavor on your tongue. And if somebody told you that that was in there and it was objectionable to you, you would never notice it. Sneak it in. Make it right. Alright, so this is pretty much getting to the end. There's one more step that I do. If you were to take those peanuts I showed earlier and put them in a bag and beat them mercilessly with a ball peen hammer, I used a rolling pin. Now we're going to add some final peanut niblets, chunks, to really kick up the peanut edge. And this sucker is done. And I just want to hear one more time from the guy that I trust the most.
Man, I never had such good food in my life. Man, I never had such good food in my life.
And who's to argue with that guy? That is Harley Matlock, our grandfather, patriarch in the entire Matlock, Ravan, Jarvis clan. So he would certainly enjoy this, and I dedicate this to him, to Wanda, and all my cousins and brothers and sisters. I'm going to pause here, and part two, we'll be doing the chicken portion, which is, oh, just stay tuned. It'll be good. Okay, record.
Okay.
All right, well, we started with the sauce that got put together here. I'll just explain it real quick. It's not too hard. It starts with the bouillon, and then we add some soy.
Wait.
I'll give the exact amount. I'll give you the exact amount of ingredient, which is really whatever you think. So we got a little bit of soy in there. I like tamarind as kind of an exotic flavor. You can find it in dried packets in the store. This is a liquid tamarind, and it has a kind of an interesting flavor to it, kind of a bitter backbite. So a little tamarind there. I put about 2 tablespoons in there. Of course, your sriracha goes in here. I put in about 3 tablespoons of this fish sauce into the whole thing. So I started with a half a cup or half of a container here of nothing but the bouillon, and then I zapped it up a notch with all these ingredients: a sweetener, saltiness, spiciness, bitterness, I guess, and of course saltiness here. So this contains all those ingredients in a sauce that will be dumped over the chicken as it comes out of the wok, or as it's cooking in the wok. And right now I characterize this as sweet, salt, sour, bitter, and umami. Sweet, salt, sour, bitter, umami. All the things. There's a little backbite of heat, because I put some Thai chilies ground up in there as well. That will be the sauce. For the chicken, I have put the remaining garlic on top of these slices of chicken, which I did in my food processor, and they come out in sheets like this if you do them slightly frozen, which is a trick that my wife, beautiful, lovely Serena, taught me how to do, because if you do them with a thawed chicken, it kind of mangles them. So they'll come out these nice flat sheets. And of course, some of the Thai chili ground up has been put on. This will go into the wok in just literally 30 seconds from now. So let's wok it out.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it.
REC?
Yep.
Alright, so one of the ingredients that I use in this Kurt's Kona Thai chicken is Thai basil. Now I grow this in my backyard little herb garden, and I'm just going to cut off some leaves And there's a couple different varietals in here. There's this one, and there's this one here. So literally, we can grab what we want. I'm not doing a really good job of get a bunch of these leaves into the mix. Come on, walk around the edge and try to get these guys. And the flowers actually work too, believe it or not. Kind of. Well, that didn't work. All right, look at this one too. Get some more over here. That's a truck. We live next to the road, but we're 1 mile from the beach, which is really kind of convenient. And you got to go to the beach. No one has to go to the beach. I'm gonna get Thai basil. Now, this is regular Italian basil. This stuff has more of an anise, licorice taste to it. And we're gonna just prune ourselves out. Okay, enough of the gardening. Let's go cook. Is the RAC? Alright, so let's light this mother hummer up. Now, you don't have to have a cooking utensil this large, but I believe bigger is better. So I have a 2-foot wok. I have a 18-inch wok. Just helps when things don't spill over. We'll get this thing nice and toasty. Yeah, smoking a little bit from the remaining oils. This is coconut oil, or coconut oil. It's room temperature, or I'm sorry, solid at room temperature. I gotta stand back when this thing goes off, because it will be choking. Get her going. The flash point of coconut oil is kind of low, so you don't want to watch it. And it's just right there. Now we're going to take this, dump the garlic side down. Stand downwind, get your nerve. Upwind, I mean. It's quite pungent, but you'll love the end result. My family always does. Make all that noise so that people know you're doing a walk. And do this outside, because if you try this inside, you may end up hurting your loved one. Alright, this sucker on the edge is being done. I'm going to add this beautiful sauce that we made before. I don't know if I need all of this. I'm going to add about that. Right. Oh yeah, you can smell everything. Fish sauce, chili peppers. And now, before it gets too much further along, we're going to add this. Oh, I forgot the peanuts inside. I'm going to go grab them. Alright, the remaining bag of peanuts. Whew. cover it, turn it off. That is Kurt's Kona Thai chicken in a nutshell. Aloha everybody, and if I add anything to this, it will certainly be maybe the jasmine rice, but right now I think we've got 2 out of 3 ingredients all ready to eat, and we'll plate it up later. Aloha shaka. Alright, let's go for the final plating. What I like to do, let's give this a look. Oh my gosh, it came out absolutely. Oh, if you could smell that, I think you would literally be coming by yourself, whatever that means. So we're going to plate this. What I like to do is get a little bed of baby spinach, arugula, or any kind of nice green, and put that. We're not doing the rice right now because I'm pressed for time, but jasmine rice is really the selection you're going to want with this. Just a nice long grain jasmine rice. And that is the bed of lettuce, bed of arugula in this case. And we're going to take some of this. Oh yeah. I don't think I mentioned that I put some green onions and some cilantro in it as well. So that's that. This goes on here. Okay. And we're going to add to that our peanut sauce, which goes over here. Drizzle that on. Drizzle on. Drizzle on. It's a peanut sauce. Kurt's Kona Thai chicken. That is going to be quite tasty. I'm not going to stick it in my mouth and do anything like make faces, because it's really as good as it looks. And Wanda, this was for you. My cousin, a sister from another mother, Shaka, out Kurt's Kona Kitchen.
Man, I never had such good food in my life. Man, I never had such good food in my life.